90% of Canadians won't qualify for the average home in Canada.
Oh, yeah.
Minimum income required is $180,000.
No.
Makes no sense.
200 grand. God, look,
But
I'm older than you guys.
Take Toronto and Vancouver out of that.
How many people do you think in this market that have to renew or that need to buy, or even you, Vaz, did you consider moving away as part of your options?
So I don't want to use myself as an example because I'm one of those guys that
I've been sitting at the dinner table with my family lately going, guys, like it's getting really dumb here. Like it's not.
Yeah, but that's a different conversation though. Listen, like tightening up.
Not even politically, like just financially. It's like, even if you have money, now you got to go, do I really want to spend it on this? Like, do I have to do this here? Right? Like, does it make sense to still do it here? Because there's got to be places that don't take all your money after you make it. Right? Like people must, I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm up for renewal too. And I'm like, do I really want to keep doing this?
Saskatchewan.
Right? I don't know if it's Canada, quite honestly, right? Like, what the fuck is going on with this place with taxes and with prices? It's like, it's not going to come down to affordable levels ever, right? Like, what's the model say is affordable now with incomes, 2006 prices?
Yeah.
So what the fuck? Like, who isn't honestly thinking about getting the fuck out of this place now?
It's funny. I have a very diverse group of friends, and the ones that are getting hit the hardest, I think, and the ones that are feeling it the most, where they're questioning whether or not it's worthwhile staying here, are the high income earners. And when I say high income earner, I'm saying anybody making, let's say, 200K plus. 100K
that's
is
nothing
great money.
Now.
Yeah, the 100K used to be great. It just doesn't go that far. So I say 200K is like kind of like, okay, you're making decent money, right? You should be able to live a good life. And I have to say, man, people are starting to question it, because it's like when your effective tax rate is, call it, I don't know, 40%, and then you're paying HST of 13%, and then you're paying carbon tax, and then you're paying
land
property tax, and then you're paying land transfer tax or double. It's just,
it's 80%.
I've always said in this country, and this is part of why I'm happy I'm no longer part of that cohort, is being a high income earner on a T4, which on a salary is honestly it's batshit crazy here, because they raid these people, and these are the people that are supporting everything that's happening, and they're absolutely crushing them by taking more than half, right? So I can understand from their point of view, what's the point?
Did you see Shazzy, at Shazzy Goalie on Twitter or X? 90% of Canadians won't qualify for the average home in Canada.
Oh, yeah.
Minimum income required is $180,000.
No.
Makes no sense.
200 grand. God, look, I'm older than you guys.
Take Toronto and Vancouver out of that. Because this is what I think people they harp on these numbers, Daryl. They love it. Right now, the new stat is that 35 to 44-year-old millennials are, having a 250% debt to income ratio, and that's unsustainable because 20 years ago it was only 150% ratio. All this stuff doesn't matter if you have equity in the home already.
No,
it doesn't matter what the price of a home is. If my mortgage, if my loan to value is only 30, 40, 50%, whatever it is, right? I get it. New people getting into the market, it's tough. It's only the wealthy. I get it. It's only the people who are going to be able. So when we say like this lady can't afford, or the average income can't afford, or a guy with, two doctors who are married to each other can't afford. Well, those two doctors, they already have equity coming from somewhere else. And that's why they can't afford. They're not going to go and buy a 20% down, 80% loan to value property for the first time and buy. Nobody does that.
I think, TK, you bring up a great point. The whole argument about income to house prices, that train left maybe 10 years ago. It hasn't been relevant for like 10 years. All these expensive homes are being bought with rollover equity. Like nobody's...
No, it became relevant again when they made... when they made the stress tests and they forced everybody to get their aunt and their uncle and their cousin and their brother on title as a guarantor. Because
no, but I'm saying not relevant for the stats. I'm saying not relevant for affordability.
Because Vancouver and Toronto, in order to be able to own in this market, it does take some sort of equity coming from family or another property to buy. That's just the way it is. It's been like that for a little while. It's gotten worse.
We've disconnected from the income ratio a long time ago. And here's a stat I saw a while back that to this day people need to pay attention to. Canada is the 6th highest, most attractive, most desirable country by high net worth individuals, and I believe that's 30 million plus. And I think we bring in don't quote me on the numbers, but I think about 2,000 a year come here in some form or another. Toronto is number 12 out of all the global cities for the most desirable place for high net worth individuals. So you have a lot of,
but they don't do anything. They don't do. They just buy a house. No, they don't.
But again,
they don't build a house. They don't build the stuff. So the prices keep going crazy and crazy and getting further and further out of reach for the people that actually need to do the shit. And that's why it explodes, because you know what? Everybody wants to live in those 2 cities that we're talking about. Nobody wants to go anywhere else. So how do you make it that they want to actually stay there? Because even Ford gets up in front of everybody and goes, let's be real, everybody. Like 60% of these people are going to end up in Ontario soon, one way or another. Like, how do you deal with that?
It's funny. And it's not only that they're going to end up here. The ones that go elsewhere, they might boomerang and come back here anyway when they realize Saskatchewan may not be the play.
Hey guys, thanks for watching our clips channel. Why don't you go and check out some more clips? We got lots of other good content somewhere over here. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Boom.
That was good.
That was good. I like that. That was good.